This is Stafford Green-White-Checkered.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Stafford Green-White-Checkered. I am your host, your Stafford insider, Darren Ayotte, where we break down every Friday night of racing for you from Stafford Spring's own Stafford Motor Speedway. We will have recaps from all 6 divisions of action, finishing results, point standings, and much more. So let's get right started with our Stafford headlines of the week from the 5th Annual June VMRS 80. A scary moment took place in the Dare Stock feature on lap 1 when the 62 of Paul Bourdon Jr. slammed the outside wall on the backstretch. Bourdon's car hit the angled part of the wall where cars enter into the track, and the impact threw his car back into others.
Signing autographs, it's absolutely free. Meet your favorite drivers behind the small grandstand area in Autograph Valley right now. The Valente Modified Series drivers. Double greens are out, and Doug Phelps, the family man, is making his presence known at the point, and he is out in front, but already Marcello Rafano is closing up that gap. Look at the 27, Matt.
And he goes around. Trouble for Evans, and going airborne. Well, the 62 is involved, and it was Evans who lost control, and a car shot up into the atmosphere.
Marcello Rafano is closing up that gap. Look at the 27, Matt.
And he goes around. Trouble for Evans, and going airborne. Well, the 62 is involved, and it was Evans who lost control, and a car shot up into the atmosphere. The head glidered his way into the barrier.
Certainly did, and that set off that chain reaction situation that took place there as well. So a very hard hit that took place there. We'll be passing information along to you as soon as we have that information.
Now it looks like Jake Higginson also involved.
His roof had to be cut open to take him out, but the good news is he was awake and alert as he was taken to the hospital. Certainly a good sign there. We certainly hope for the best, and I'm sure we'll be seeing him very soon back at the track. We all hope for the best for the rookie, Paul Bourdon Jr. But on to the rest of the headlines now, and as you can see, the June VMRS 80 would be going home to Woody Pitcat, the hometown boy, who has now won both the May and June Valente race at Stafford. The hometown hero was cheered on as he used a lapped car as a pick to get around the 31X car of Steve Massey on lap 42. He didn't look back. And finally, the 92 of Tom Fern makes it 4 wins in the last 5 races, as a late race spin by Tom Butler gave Fern the lead. We'll have more on this story in the late model feature. It's now time for the recap part of the show, starting with, as usual, the Legend Cars feature. The 43 of Devin O'Connell was looking to make it 4 consecutive wins in the Legends. He would have to earn it, though, starting from the rear of the field with the rest of the big 3, being the DiMatteo brothers. They would work together to get to the front, but with less than 7 laps to go, it was fair game.
We are headed to the final lap. Devin O'Connell looking for his 4th consecutive victory. 4 in a row. Let's see if he can make it. He is 2 turns away.
No question. They head off turn number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, our first feature event of the night, double Napa checkers. It goes to Devin O'Connell to take down the impressive victory.
Yeah, Noah just slipped up a little bit there, and it was just enough room to be able to stick the car down there. So, you know, if you don't have a gap, if you're going for a gap, you just got to keep your fingers crossed, and there was just enough room. And thanks again to my dad for another motor switch. Got this back from US Legends Cars and make some awesome horsepower, so thanks to them. Thanks to 860 Motorsports for the amazing setup, Stafford Motor Speedway, Chatham House Motel, and just everybody, all the
Devin O'Connell earns his 4th win in the last 5 races and his 4th straight. Here are the full results. Corey DiMatteo would come home in 2nd, a nice bounce-back finish for those guys after last week's incident, followed by his brother Dana, who gets his 9th top 5 of 2015. Teddy Hogden, his 3rd straight top 5, coming home in 4th. How about Glenn Corner, comes home in 7th. Jerry Macchia in 8th. And rounding out the top 10, how about that 35 car of Andrew Muller, didn't really have the day that he was hoping for. In a 10-car field, he spun out early in the race. So here are the updated standings as we near the halfway mark of the season. And Devin O'Connell remains in front in the point standings, along with Dana DiMatteo and Corey DiMatteo. No movement there. 26 points out for Dana and 42 for Corey. Teddy Hogden moves into the 4th position over Mikey Flynn, who did not race in this race. 154 points back is Andrew Moeller in 6th, and you'll see Brett Crowther was the biggest mover in the standings this week, moving up 2 positions, but he is 254 points back, so it's really become a 3-car race for the championship as of now, barring an absolute collapse or a huge turnaround by someone. Between the big 3, Devin O'Connell, Dana DiMatteo, and Corey DiMatteo, so we're certainly excited to see how that shapes up as the weeks to come. It's now time for that Dare Stock recap. And after that scary lap 1 wreck involving rookie Paul Bourdon Jr., the race would be red flagged for over 30 minutes. Other drivers involved in the wreck included the 11 car of Tyler Trott, who just managed to escape with minimal body damage. When the race resumed, Trott continued to advance in the field and would ultimately make it to the lead. Take a look.
White flag is out, no surrendering, but Tyler Trott seems to have things covered into turn number 2. Side-by-side racing for second. On back, it's still Tyler Trott, the leader, down into turn number 3.
And Aspire trying to get Latois on the outside of the fight for second. But here comes Tyler Trott as he gets ready to blast his way out of turn 4.
Checkered flag is out. Tyler Trott takes down the win. Frank Latois will finish in second.
I melted the transmission down again this week to get the first. It feels good. You guys can't keep me off the podium. I'm here to stay. I'd like to thank my dad, all my sponsors, my girlfriend Allison, my sister Madison, my crew chief Jesse.
After having transmission problems last week, Tyler Trott returns to victory lane for his 2nd win of the season. And here is the rest of the top 10. Frank Latois Jr., once again another 2nd place finish, his 10th straight top 5 finish in 10 races, his 7th podium of the season as well. Trace Beyer comes home in 3rd. It's his first podium since May 29th, so a nice finish for those guys. Alexandra Fern's 2-race winning streak has come to an end, coming home in 4th. Dan Dembeck, another solid top 5 finish for him. Marcello Ruffrano, the rookie, comes home in 6th. He's trying to work his way up in the standings. We'll get to that in just a moment. You'll notice at the very bottom, in 9th and 10th position, Paul Bourdon Jr. and Zach Robinson. Now, both of those guys were involved in wrecks. They were both involved in that lap 1 scuffle, and of course, Paul Bourdon Jr.'s car was the one who took the most damage. He does come home in 9th in a 12-car field, so in the end, it didn't hit him as hard in the points, just a very scary wreck overall. So here are the updated point standings now after 10 of 23 races, and no changes among the top 7. You'll see Dan Dembeck is still within 8 points of Frank Latois Jr. despite losing 6 points this week. Tyler Trott closes in to 14 points back. Alexandra Fern still 38 back and in contention for that championship. Then you start to get down into the bottom half of that top 10, and you'll see Marcello Ruffrano gains a position on Doug Phelps Jr. to move into the 8th position, just 124 back, so he's closing in on 7th as well. And rounding out the top 10 is Paul Bourdon Jr., who we spoke of, is in 10th, 150 points back of first placed Frank Latois Jr., your defending champion, who's looking to repeat this year. So it's on to another quick limited late model feature, and we say quick because there were no cautions. The 9-car of Andrew Hayes was on a mission to win his 2nd race of the season and gain more ground on points leader Al Saunders. Take a look.
There's side-by-side racing there, and look at Hayes. Hayes made a bid underneath Bissett. Steps on the gas, going, gone. White flag is out, and Provost and Austin Bissett are side-by-side for second.
But both Provost and Bissett will have an opportunity to run Hayes down. They blister their way down the backstretch, and right now it's a fight for second between Provost and Bissett. Here comes Hayes into turn 4.
Well, off turn number 4, the defending series champion Andrew Hayes will do it. He'll take down the win. Provost will finish in second. Bissett will finish in the 3rd spot.
Yeah, I think we had the car to beat there. There at the end, I remember a little incident that happened last week, so I decided to give it back there. Maybe a little cleaner than what happened to me last week, but, you know, we just went out there tonight. We had a great car during practice. We got that caution, got the restart in 3rd, and we just
After failing to crack the top 5 in the last 2 weeks, Andrew Hayes finds himself back in victory lane for just the 2nd time this season. So as we look at the rest of the top 10 from that 20-lap feature, you'll see Dwayne Provost came home in 2nd, his 6th top 5 of the season, quietly with 6 top 5s, I might add. Austin Bissett came home in 3rd. You'll see your points leader, Al Saunders, with his 9th top 5 finish of the year in 4th. The Ayotte brothers back-to-back once again. That's got to be the 3rd time this year that we've seen the Ayotte brothers finish back-to-back. Cliff Saunders comes home in 7th. After his 11th place finish last week, a bounce back for him. And rounding out the top 10 are 2 rookies, Robert Bloxham, Jeremy Lavoie, and of course Kelsey Latino. Rotino. That's a 14-car field. So let's check out the updated limited late model standings with still 13 races to go. And again, just like the last recap, the Dare recap, really no changes amongst the top 7. You have to go all the way down to 8th to see any leapfrogging. Kelsey Rotino moving into 8th, Justin Bren moving into 9th, both leapfrogging over other drivers who have failed to race this week, as there was only 14 cars. David Como remains in 10th, the rookie down at the bottom. He's tied though with Justin Bren for 9th position. You'll see Andrew Hayes did pick up some points as well on Alice Saunders, just 10 points back now, a very close race, and another division here at Stafford that's probably going to come down to the very end to decide the champion in that division. Well, it's now on to the SK Light feature recap, and after being involved in last week's big one, points leader Joey Farino was looking to bounce back, and he would do just that. Take a look.
And it's a battle for second between Membrino and Kopchik. Also in the middle of the action is Nick Salva. While those 3 guys are battling for second, Farino is trying to pull away.
Farino firmly in command. Membrino starting to close in, but it might be too little too late. Joey Farino wheels it up off turn number 4. Checkered flag is out, and Farino takes home the victory in the SK Light Modifieds.
Yeah, I mean, we had a week of no sleep. I mean, the thing was decimated. It was just a racing incident last week, but Mr. Ham with the watermelon, that definitely helped lead towards the victory tonight. But my guys this week, I mean, I had so many people come out of the woodwork offering it.
Win number 3 on the year for Joey Farino as he extends his points lead. A nice bounce back finish for those guys after coming home in 18th after last week's big one. So let's give you those results, and you'll see Tony Membrino Jr. came home in 2nd, his 3rd podium in the last 4 races. Those guys are on fire. Stephen Kopchik quietly, humbly finishes in 3rd and continues to climb the standings. 4th place goes to Nick Salva, the 98 car. No top 5s in the first 6 races for Salva, 4 straight cents, including 2 wins. Bob Charland comes home in 5th in that 1 car. You'll see a pair of rookies in 5th and 7th, Matt Swanson and Daniel Wesson. We talk about Glenn Griswold, the 60 car, came home in 9th, his 6th straight top 10 after having 0 in the first 4 weeks. 3 of the first 4 weeks, excuse me. And Kyle Trainer, another rookie, came home in 10th in that 40 car. Most notably in that 23 car field was DJ Burnham in 22nd and Peyton Henry in 23rd, dead last. Both of those drivers took a heavy hit in the standings, and we'll now give you those standings with 13 races to go, and it does not look good for DJ Burnham after this week. He was clawing with Joey Farino for that points lead, now finds himself 46 back and dropped the position to Stephen Kopchik, who we talked about silently moving up. Kopchik just 26 points out of the lead to Joey Farino. Tony Membrino Jr. moves up another spot. He was as far back as 15th in the standings this year. He moves into 5th, just 64 points back and well in contention of this championship. So now it's time to continue our race recaps with the SK Modified feature. The 59 of Ronnie Williams led early before having problems for the 6th straight week after his hot start to the season. The two most consistent drivers, though, Keith Rocco and Rowan Pennick, put on a great show at the end to decide the winner.
They come back to the line. Priest is up to the 3rd position.
Does Priest have something for Pennick as they scramble off the corner? Rocco with a safe lead. Rocco is 2 turns away from career win 199.
Off turn number 4, 199 is about to go into the record books. It's Kid Rock, Keith Rocco to take down the win. Rowan Pennick unofficially to finish in the 2nd spot.
Yeah, you know, our car was really good on a long run. On the short run, it just took 3 laps to fire up them. All them restarts were really killing me, but I got to thank my whole team. They're awesome. I got to thank John and Maine Rafano, Wheeler's Auto, Aladdin Awnings, Hocon Gases, Vinny Beetle from Mr. Rooter Plumbing, Pettit for the awesome horsepower, Northeast Race Cars, and Troyer Chassis, Magnus Transmissions, and the NASCAR Wheel and All-America Series.
That was win number 199 of the career of Keith Rocco, an excellent achievement as he looks to get his 200th win next week. And a very excited Keith Rocco, but still very humble, knowing that there is still the championship to focus on above everything else. Winning races, of course, is good as well. He was very happy. We spoke with him afterwards in the paddock as well, and just very excited, this whole team, knowing that they are really hungry for that championship. So here are the full results from that 40-lap feature, and Rowan Pennick, once again, what else can we say about him? 2nd place, his 6th top 2 finish of the season. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of that from Rowan Pennick this season. And how about Matt Galco, 3rd place in that number 3 car? That equals his best finish of the season. 3rd place, just his 2nd podium. Ryan Priest, 7th top 5 of the year, still chasing that 1st win. He's had some strong cars, but he's just not been able to get to victory lane for one reason or another. I'm sure we'll be seeing his name in victory lane soon enough, though. Woody Pitcat in the 50 car comes home in 5th, his 2nd top 5 of 2015. So the 50 car is really turning things around this season and trying to climb as much as he can in the standings. Glenn Reen and Todd Owen come home 6th and 7th. 8th place for the 66 of Eric Berndt. And how about 9th place Mike Christopher Jr., the rookie in the 82 car, his first top 10 of the season. He's had a lot of struggles this season. Unfortunately, some wrecks, some bad luck. Good to see him coming home in 9th ahead of the 94 car of Tyler Hines in 10th. It was a 23 car field, and the notables for this one, Ronnie Williams in 18th. We mentioned his 6th consecutive week of struggling. And 19th, Ted Christopher, who did very well early, but unfortunately was involved in another wreck. So here are the official standings for the SK Modified division. And Rowan Pennick remains up front despite Keith Rocco's victory. Keith Rocco cuts it down to just 18 points, 14 for Ryan Priest. And then you'll see a bunch of changes here. You'll see the 3 car of Matt Galco moves into 4th, just 90 points back. Eric Berndt moves into 5th position after falling back a spot to Matt Galco. So it's on to the final All-American Series recap, which is the late model feature, where it appeared that the 4 of Tom Butler was going to get his first win of the season and a much-needed victory. After leading 27 laps, all 27, the 92 of Tom Ferd made contact with the 4 car, at least it looked like he did, and spun him around. Much to the displeasure of the crowd, though, Ferd would take advantage on the next restart, and he would not look back. Take a look.
Butler has moved by 4 cars in 1 lap to move into the 4th position.
Let's see if he has anything left. Bennett and Gamba Corner are fighting for 2nd. Here comes Tommy Fern. He is 2 turns away, and Tommy Fern has speed to burn.
As he comes off turn number 4, it is Fern. Back to the stripe they come. It is Tom Fern to take down the win. Michael Bennett in for 2nd. Kevin Gambacorta to finish in 3rd.
Yeah, I don't know. We've lost a few that way, so I guess I got one back tonight. Tough luck for Tommy, man. He had a good race car tonight. We gotta go home and do some homework. Just come back next week.
Well, call it controversial or not, Tom Fern is back in victory lane. His 4th win in the last 5 races as he continues his momentum. Here are the top 10 finishers from that feature. fourth win for Tom Fern, followed by your points leader Michael Bennett in the 16 car. He remains the points leader, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Fourth place for Tom Butler. After spinning out, he restarted in the 8th position. He passed 4 cars in 1 lap to come home in 4th. So all in all, Tom Butler may have had the best car, but just did not get the win. So where does that put Tom Fern in the points now? So let's take a look at that. You'll see Tom Fern gains some more ground, but does not gain a position. He is 78 points back in the point standings behind Ed Ricard, who is 72 points back, followed by Michael Ray as the rookie in 8th position. Michael Bennett does remain the points leader though, followed by Tom Butler, who is just within 8 points. A win for Tom Butler would have moved him even closer to the lead. Josh Wood is 18 points back despite a 6th place finish. You'll see Mike Scorzelli hanging in there after his win last week in the 18 car, 50 points back. The only movement was Rich Hammond and Scott Cook leapfrogging Jim Mavlajanis, who was running a part-time schedule. So it's now time for the 5th annual June VMRS 80 recap. The 80 lap feature started off with a long green flag run of 56 laps. A group of cautions bunched up the field, but on the lap 70 restart, the 42 of Woody Pitkat checked out and got his 2nd win at Stafford this season.
White flag is out. 2nd stop of 2015 here at Stafford of 3 visits. Woody Pitkat puts the number 42 machine, the Patterson's Farms Felton prepared race car off turn number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, he's done it. Woody Pitkat will take down the victory.
Yeah, Todd and Chris Pastriak there, he had a really good car on the top there, and I want to thank him for running me clean. I know I didn't really run him that clean at Monadnock, so he showed me tonight a true gentleman, and I apologize to him for that, and we just got to keep going on and moving on from that. But yeah, we had an outstanding car. We had a great car last time we were here, and the sway bar broke, and I kind of hung on to win last time, but tonight with the sway bar hooked up, the thing was pretty stout.
So Woody Pitkat goes on to get the win in race 5 of the 2015 VMRS season. Here are the full results, and Todd Zegedy in the 85 car came home in 2nd position. A good bounce back finish for those guys after struggling last week at Lee USA Speedway. Chris Pastriak in the 5 car came home in 3rd. That was your winner at Lee last week, so 2 good finishes for him in a row. Steve Massey in the 31X car led for a while, but he was passed by Pitkat on lap 42. So let's give you the updated Valenti point standings now, a third of the way through the season. Still 10 races to go, and Pitkat remains in front along with Zegedy, Patnode, and Savory. But you'll see Chris Pastriak picks up 5 spots in the standings. You'll see another guy pick up 5 spots down below there. That's Mike Willis Jr. with his 7th place finish. So both of those guys benefited the most so far. So it's on to our last segment of the show, and this is a new one here on Stafford Green-White-Checkered. Each week we'll be selecting a driver off of Stafford's Greatest Drivers banner to commemorate their accomplishments and their legacy. His name was made famous for driving the #1 Pennzoil Chevrolet for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated between 1998 and 2003. He began his career, though, as a modified driver at Stafford Motor Speedway, winning his first modified race in 1988 and then earning 5 victories in 1989, all in his own equipment and with his own team. Park's Sprint Cup career was riddled with injuries, though, including missing the majority of his rookie season. But his legacy should always be remembered for how much immediate success he brought to NASCAR, jumping to the top series in NASCAR by the age of 30. Not many can say that. Here are his career numbers in all of his major series, and you'll see 2 career Sprint Cup wins. The first came at Watkins Glen in 2000, his second at Rockingham in 2001. He has 3 career Xfinity Series wins. He also has a Camping World Truck Series win and 3 career K&N Pro Series East wins. But you'll see his career Whelen Modified Tour stats, and they're pretty good. 16 wins, 56 top 5s, 86 top 10s. He also has 15 pole positions, and that was a career that spanned 27 years between 1986 and 2013. After retiring initially in 2003, he came back and raced a part-time schedule for many years after that. So Steve Park, our legend of the week. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Stafford Green-White-Checkered, and for our producer Antonio Squitieri, and on behalf of the entire crew here at Nutmeg TV, I am your host, your Stafford Insider, Darren Ayotte, and we'll see you next week on Stafford Green-White-Checkered.